Malden salt. This comes from the southern Australia. The Murray River is kind of like the Columbia, where the water is coming right from the ocean. The Murray River in this case also happens to be high in iron, which is showing its presence in the fact that it's a pink salt. That means there's iron in it. And good news is it doesn't translate in flavor. Malden, coming out of Essex, has no iron in it, but these are both dry salts. A dry salt is not going to dissolve instantly. It takes 3 to 5 minutes before the salt can dissolve. So it has to hydrate, then it dissolves. At that point, if you put this in a soup and stir it, you're not going to know whether it's salty enough until 3 or 5 minutes go by. Okay? I'm guilty of over-seasoning my food as a kid because as a Jewish Italian kid, we use kosher salt in our kitchen all the time. And I put it in, I'm thinking, I'm a lousy cook because I over-salt everything. I didn't know that subtle difference. My mom didn't know. She just cooked the way she cooked. Once I discovered it, it kind of opened up my eyes. Wet salts, because they're usually up to 13% residual seawater, dissolve instantly in liquids. So you put a wet salt like this Japanese salt or the cell green that we use here in house, you put it in, you stir it, you taste it, boom, you know your salt level. So now you can go very quickly through it. In a professional kitchen, it makes a heck of a lot more sense for us to use a wet salt because I don't have a lot of time to get food from me to you. I want to get it there very quickly. So there's kind of your wet salts, if you will, and then your dry salts. Finishing salts refer to the fact that when you're at a point where it's time to season your food for the final, and keep in mind, salt is added throughout. You don't just add salt at the beginning or at the end. Either way, your food's not going to be the best it can be. If you go a little at a time, you slowly draw out moisture, and in moisture is flavor. So add salt slowly. When you get to the point where you need a little bit of salt at the very end, our recommendation is that's where you make the decision. Do I just keep cooking the way I'm cooking with the salt I'm using, or do I introduce a finishing salt? For me, case in point, I've got Cyprus black salt. Let me segue and I'll get to the story. This is harvested off of Cyprus, just below Greece. Years ago, there was a lot of volcanic activity that laid the groundwork for the tidal pools around the island. In the tidal pools now, they're harvesting salt water, and just as the salt begins to crystallize, they reintroduce the lava from around the island in the form of charcoal, and it carbonizes on the salt, turning it jet black. Now, I'm going to have you all taste it because as a finishing salt, what you ask yourself is, wow, how do I use this? Well, if your food is well seasoned, don't go near a finishing salt. Your food will be salty. But if you're at that point where you're going to add that last little bit of salt, this is going to close the deal for you. So with this, I'm going to give everybody a little bit. I don't want you to bite down. I want you to put it in your mouth and let it naturally dissolve. Because the first thing that's going to happen is your taste buds are going to go somewhat flat. Because carbon has the effect of killing taste buds. Not killing. I'm going to say muting it a little bit. You going to try it, Lisa? You guys had some already? Okay. You can have seconds. So what happens here is it goes from, wow, what happened to the flavor, and then you bite down. And your initial reaction is it's more salty than any salt I've ever eaten. It's not. The reaction you're getting is the carbon deadened your taste buds. So you went from 0 to 60 versus I just put it in my mouth and it's naturally salty. So it tastes saltier than it really is. When I grill steaks, I don't season the steaks as much as I'm going to if I'm going to use the salt because I'll give a little. When we entertain at home, we're kind of crazy. I'll do a little pinch pot in a bamboo cup, and every guest gets a pinch pot. And what I say is slice a piece of meat, put a little salt on it, and eat it. It's kind of ethereal, and it's like my one decadence, salt my meat as I go.